go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi everyone on YouTube. How are you today? Thank you, and thank you for coming on board. I'm going to just thank everyone. Thank you, and good health. Good health to everyone here. Hi, I hope you guys can hear me. I do need to know if you guys can hear me. So just give me a sign that you guys can hear me. Just say, yes, we can hear you. Hi, Tasha Thomas. She goes, hi, baby. Oh, hi, baby love. Yes, thank you, Stephen. Look at you. Thank you. Okay, we've got some salt magic to talk about. And I'm going to start with all the different types of salt um, because different ethnic groups has their own type of salt that they might use. The magic that I'm going to be discussing with you, there's no boundaries, right? It's just salt. So whatever you use is whatever you use. I do have a personal preference though. Table salt is not my fan favorite. Not my fan favorite. And the only thing I use table salt for is to bless my home. So in my family, we walk in with the Bible to a new dwelling. You walk in with the Bible in one hand and you walk in with salt in the other hand. You put the salt in a cupboard and it's never supposed to be touched. It's unopened, unpackaged. You just put it in a cupboard and you call it a day. All right? There are some rituals here that I would use table salt for, but it's not necessary. I am a big fan, for me, of pink Himalayan salt, and I will do a video on just pink Himalayan salt um, so that you can understand the properties and so that you can take away table salt from your diet. Table salt contributes to high blood pressure. Pink Himalayan salt will not. And you can get it in fine grade. It is saltier than table salt, but you learn to use less. All right? So, with that being said, let's get started. I do want to inform you guys that from the 3rd on, so that's from Sunday, and you guys know I normally do a Sunday review on something, and I've got a few ideas, but because I am sitting this out, I am sitting out the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th for Black Lives Matter, right? I'm also sitting it out for Roe versus Wade, right? But also, I just found out so many things I keep learning being in St. Croix, where my grandfather was born, that I just found that out. Um, that St. Croix, I'm not sure if it's the Virgin Islands, but St. Croix Emancipation Day was on July 3rd. Now, let me tell you something. If I tell you that story, ooh, child, you are going to be really, really surprised where your strength comes from, right? You're going to be really surprised. They did a coup over here and stopped their own slavery. Mhm. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to call the date out wrong. I think it was in 1653. Maybe it started so it must have been 1793, something like that. They stopped their own slavery. In any case, I'll tell you that story one day. It's so fascinating. Which is, I believe, the reason why I fight so much. I was like, where is this spirit coming from? Although my mother fought a lot too. She just fought everything under the sun. It was hilarious. Um, and one day I went to go see a medium, Deborah Hookie, and my mother came through and she was like, tell Tracey she gets her spirit from me. And I completely, now that I'm older, I completely understand that. If I was younger, I'd be like, oh, hell no. But, when you grow up emotionally, you're like, I fight a lot. I even want to join fights. I'm like, is there an argument? Is there a protest? Like, I'm down. Which is the reason why I am pulling off of social media July 3rd, 4th, 5th. You will see me come back on the 6th. But let me tell you something. I am always working. And because I'm always working, everything I'm talking about tonight will be in video form, just broken up into pieces. All right? So let's get started. Salt magic. Why is salt so magical? It is for flavoring food. It is for preserving food, particularly back in the day. It is great for magic. Salt is the only rock you can eat. Think about that. It is made in the earth, or it is made from the sea. Therefore, it carries the very essence of earth and water elements. Sea salt carries the water element properties. Himalayan pink salt carries the earth. Keep in mind the salt will take on the energy of its natural surroundings. So that would mean Hawaiian black salt will carry Hawaiian energy, while Cyprus black salt will taste and feel and act differently because it carries Mediterranean energy. Whatever salt magic you choose to make, know that it will be effective. And cultures have been using salt magic for years. There are 11 different types of salt. There's sea salt, which comes from the sea, hence why it carries its name. It's purifying and protective, and great at making offerings to sea spirits and deities like YEMAYA. Hawaiian pink salt is, as of lately, a popular choice, and check for it, especially if you're in the States. I know I get people from all over the world, but in the States, if you go to Dollar Tree or the dollar store, even they carry Himalayan salt. That's how popular it is. There's another place I used to go to. Oh, Ross. Oh my God, go to Ross. The crap that they carry in there, I mean, humongous sizes for $3, $4, $5. Ross is a good choice if you have a Ross in your town. I'm from California. We have Ross in California. I don't know where else Ross can be found. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on a second. Okay. Himalayan pink salt comes, for the most part, it's chunky. Whenever you guys see a picture of it, it's chunky. They do make a fine grade, and that's what I cook with. I cook with a fine grade. Also comes in powder form. All right. Also, is made into a lamp. So if you can find a salt lamp, get it. It will purify your room. Himalayan pink salt is called the purest salt on earth because it's been maturing in the earth for 250 million years. This salt is magical and it declassifies your pineal glands. And listen to this, it will open up your third eye. It has added magical properties of self love and romance, very similar to the qualities of rose quartz. It's very soft, very soothing, and the pink comes from the iron in it. Therefore, it is a powerful warding ingredient. It's stronger than sea salt, and your dishes will come out saltier, but you will learn to cook with sea salt. And it's saltier than table salt. Remember, I despise table salt. And if I use table salt, iodine salt, I only use it for magic. I do not cook with table salt. Um, then there's something called witch's black salt. Now, witch's black salt is just black salt. I don't know why they add the word witch to it. Witches aren't the only one that makes black salt. But it's black salt is mixed with charcoal. And this is the one time I would use table salt and table salt. All right. And black salt, which I use, which you can make, which I will show you. I will tell you how to make it, but I will make a video separately showing you how to make it, except I don't have a mortar and pedestal, but it'll be the best I can do with the circumstances I am given. Seeming as I live in the Caribbean now, I don't have the resources to everything like I used to. But when I'm feeling awkward, or if I feel like negative energy is near my front door, or sometimes even danger is near my front door, and it's not something that you readily see, it's something that you feel. And so for me, I put black salt on my doormat and I forget about it. Like once I do a magic, I'm not investing in whether or not it works. I do magic, I put my intentions out there, I put my prayer out there, and it is done. And that's going to be the other thing and everything that I'm talking about with you. It's going to be really important to trust the universe. Trust the universe. That if you put your intentions out there and you add a prayer to it, why wouldn't it come true? Why are you asking for something and then believing that it won't come true? It will come true. Might take some time to come true, especially based upon your belief system. If you believe, it'll show up so fast, it's not funny. I was talking to a client and I said, we were talking about uh, how can she test the universe? And by the way, it's okay to test the universe. You want to know that they're there and they want to work for you. But they cannot work for you if they don't know what you want. They can hear you with your wants and wishes, but if you give it to them to do, like if you say, who's ever around me, I'm looking for this. I need this, whatever it is. They're so happy. They start jumping around your spirit. They're like, oh my God, we got a job to do. Let's get to work. And so I was telling one of my clients about that, and I said, test the universe. I said, ask the universe if you can have a pink elephant, right? A green goat, right? A purple hummingbird, right? And I said, and you have to trust how the universe shows it to you, right? Because where is there going to be a purple goat to show up, right? But you might see it in a magazine. You might see it in your children's or your grandchildren's cartoon show, and you're going to be like, wait, what? Run that back, kiddo. Run that back. That show got a purple goat in it? And of course, they're not going to know what you're talking about. They're going to be like, yeah, Grandma, the purple goat is the main character. So I was talking to her, and I said to her, just ask for dimes. I said, dimes tend to be grandma energy. So ask for dimes. I said, better yet, make it simple. Ask for pennies. And then I said, you know what? I haven't seen pennies in a while. Because I'm in the Caribbean. I used to see pennies all the time and dimes all the time in the States. I just swear people must have been dropping coins out of their pockets and just leaving it for me. I'd be like, how? How is this possible? So I started collecting everything that I found in a particular bowl. And let me tell you something, just proof to the pudding, the spirits were like, we're here, here's another dime, here's another penny. So I was telling her that, and in my mind I said, you know, spirit, I haven't seen any pennies. And I said, any dimes. And I was like, I haven't seen pennies. Show me pennies. But in a weird kind of way, I was kidding. Like, I didn't expect to see pennies because I'm in the Caribbean. If I said it in California, boom, boom, boom. Everywhere I walk, these things would show up. But I'm in the Caribbean, so it's not like we go dropping money anywhere. And if we drop money, it's at the crossroads. And if there's money at the crossroads, don't touch it. That's somebody's working. Don't get out your car and be like, oh my God, all these pennies. And so I was like, I don't expect to see pennies. And right outside my chiropractor's office were these pennies. And I'm like, God, what? And then I walked a few more feet because, as you guys know, I don't have a car. And there were more pennies. And even today, I went to the chiropractor and I walked out and I saw a penny, but it was dirty. And me and my princess self, I was like, I don't want to pick up the penny. But I already took a step. And so I stepped back. Now I can't find the penny. And I said, no, the penny's here, God, because I saw it. 3 pennies showed up. Now I'm giving you this story because it was Spirit saying to me, you think we forgot you, which is what I was thinking. And right away, they were like, oh, we've been waiting to work for you. Yes, we're here. We're always here. So I say that to say any magic that you do, any magic, just believe. Let's get back to witch's black salt. It's not witch's black salt. Just call it black salt. It's made with cascarilla, charcoal, and this is the only time I would use table salt. All right? But we'll talk about that later. Kosher salt. I also love kosher salt. It is way too thick for me to cook with, but the Jews do very well with it. And the difference with kosher salt is that the rabbi has blessed the salt already. So if that's something that interests you, where it's already blessed, don't worry about the culture because that's just silly. The blessing is the bigger part, right? Then choose salt that's already blessed. And then your blessing will be on top of the blessing that the rabbi gave it. That's actually a very smart choice, by the way, choosing kosher salt. And we got regular old table salt, blah, blah, blah. However, it's also very good for magic. It purifies, it protects, and it's very, very good for ritual stuff. We got Hawaiian black salt. Hawaiian black salt, well, they consider it exotic, but I'm sure Hawaiians don't consider it exotic. Whatever, people. Um, and it comes from evaporating water on the Hawaiian island of Molokai. It is natural and has activated charcoal. And if you didn't know, activated charcoal can be very healthy for you. However, using it in magic invokes power and beauty based upon how Hawaiians see their islands. And this salt is extra strong. We have Alea red salt, and it is used in Hawaiian cuisine and spiritual customs. Alea is added to the salt, and that's how it gets its red color, which is actually volcanic clay. Volcanic, volcanic clay. It's also rich in iron oxide. Hawaiian Alea red salt can be used to clean tools and your home. It is very, very high in nutrients, has 80 plus nutrients. It is a little bit more expensive, right? And ironically, when you hear the irony in Hawaiian Alea red salt, it's not made in Hawaii anymore. It's made in California. So how funny is that? Unfortunately. There's also something called fleur de sel. It's French for flower of salt. It's on the coast of Brittany, near their sea. It's collected near the shadow pools, and it is a delicate sea salt. It is used for eating. It probably is the most expensive salt in the world because it is rare and it is delicate. It can come from other places, but the Brittany version is the most expensive. It can be added to food after it's been cooked. It is associated with fairies and elements. Gray salt is a result that was developed in pools made of clay. It has a natural gray color, a flaky texture. It has concentrations of iron and manganese. Also has calcium, more than table salt. And it also is used for cooking. Cypress black salt. Did you guys know there was a black salt? Cypress black salt. It's called a finishing salt. Do you do that sometimes when you're cooking? Like you're putting stuff in, but then at the very end, I don't like when people add cooking to my dishes. That to me is insulting. Like when I cook, trust and believe it's flavorful. So I don't want you to put salt until you've tried my dish. Because if you put salt, now you're going to get a salty dish. Most people add salt at dinner without tasting the food because they're so used to adding salt. But if you don't practice that and give yourself an opportunity to taste something, it's enough salt that you have in your food. I promise you. At least when I cook it. But every once in a while, before I serve a plate, there's that little sprinkle of extra salt right on top of the food, right? Just a little sprinkle. And it's almost like pow, right? Hit that salt on top and the seasoning in the middle. Oh my God, it's so good. So Cyprus black salt is what I was describing, a finishing salt. Comes from the Mediterranean. It's seawater mixed with the lava bed and then mixed with charcoal. And it is edible. And once again, it is used on dishes after it's cooked. So, it is magically used to invoke the pyramids. I need to tell someone about that. Drawing down the energy from heaven itself, which is what the pyramids do, right? And the charcoal mixed in it activates it. Much different than any other salt. So, if you want to add Mediterranean Cyprus black salt to your magic or your kitchen, which I'd love to do. I'd love to see what that finish off salt tastes like. But if you want to add it to your magic for that extra bit of power, download it from heaven, go for it. Then there are other salts, which are all kinds of herb-infused, plant-infused, mixed salts. And that just ranges all over the place. So feel free to get a salt that has bamboo in it and salt. Like, don't be afraid to. Remember, we're talking about magic. We're not talking about cooking. We're talking about magic. Although, how can I talk about anything without talking about cooking and a steak? So, let me see what everybody is saying. Everyone is saying hello to everyone. You guys are so cute. When you believe. Oh, don't you just love that song, Magic Mermaid? Yes. Hi, Zane. And good health to everyone. Greetings, Turk's wife. I know you're going to miss me, Sin W, but I promise you on the 6th, oh my God, there's going to be video after video after video after video. Y'all are going to get sick of my videos. You know, I do that with the predicted edits. So many predicted edits come through all at the same time. And that's the other thing. I've got to do predicted edits. And I could do all that work since I'm going to be taking the time out. And I record all the predicted edits on paper, and then in one day of quiet time, I will post all the predicted edits. So you're just going to see a lot of salt videos. How's that, guys? But it won't show up until the 6th, but they will be ready to go. So they will get uploaded to YouTube. They will be unlisted, but I will have it timed for 12 midnight, the 6th, and you'll be boom, 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 video after video after video. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, yes, yes. I'm going to teach you how to make black salt, so stay tuned. And if I'm not mistaken, you're in California, right? Is that the one that I know? If you're in California, you have a plethora of stores to go to, so stay tuned. I'll get you what you need. So, what I'd like for you to consider is put some salt in your hand. I'm a left hand person, for me, but if you're right dominant, put it in your right hand. If you're left dominant, put it in your left hand. When I do magic, I put everything in my left hand, regardless. All right? Thank you, Magic Mermaid, for mentioning that. And so, put some salt in your left hand and walk around your house. You know when your house feels a little funky. I didn't say smelling. You know when the energy is off. Most times the energy is off because you might have brought it in the house. You might be having a bad day and it might linger on for too long. You might have a visitor that was like, that might come in and they were like really, really down. And the energy, and you're like, oh my God, like I feel, but now the energy lingers. Walk around your house with some salt, regular salt. This is the one-time table salt is fine. And wherever you feel the energy, put it in the corner of that room. Now, it's quite okay if you don't feel anything. It's better to just do it every once in a while, right? Sprinkle the corners of each room. Leave it there for a week. Vacuum it up or sweep it up. If you can, just sweep it out the door. But if you live in an apartment, you can't do that, right? So everybody talks in terms as if everybody has a home, right? You don't. So sweep it toward the front door and then scoop it up, put it in a bag, and deposit it in the garbage disposal. All right? Another way to clear some energy is to get a little tiny container or a little tiny cup, um, preferably glass in this case. Put some salt in the container. Let it be a small container. This is not that big of a deal. Let it a small container, preferably glass. Again, if you're in the States, you know you can get this stuff from the dollar store. Put some salt in it and put a votive on top of it. All right? And that will clear the energy of your room. All right? Especially if there's any heavy or stale energy. Put it on top of a plate, put some rocks around it, make it look cute. Bingo, bango, you're working magic and it's pretty, right? Also, a salt lamp. If you're lucky, you can find salt lamps for $5 at Ross. Every once in a while, the dollar store will have some amazing magical stuff, right? And go ahead and purchase if they've got like this salt lamp. It's not an accident, it was meant for you, take it. Um, the other kind of ritual that you could do is get a glass, medium size. This doesn't necessarily have to be a glass, right? So something should be a glass. If you add the votive, because it is fire, you don't want to use plastic. So that needs to be a glass. This doesn't have to be glass, all right? I personally don't live in a glass community, right? And so I don't have a lot of glass in my plethora of plates and cups, right? Or glass bowls, right? And if I purchase those things, I'm not spending $50. So I'm going to use whatever I have, right? And sometimes I have these ice cream containers that are real thick. I just use them, right? And so take a medium-sized container and add salt and vinegar and leave it for a week. It will absorb the energy of the room. Now, after a week, it will look a little discolored depending upon what's around you. Also, place it up somewhere, right? Don't let the kids get to it. Don't let the kids spill it over. Place it up somewhere, even if it's on top of the refrigerator, right? Because you want to get the energy way up there into the container. For some people, there could be some symbols or signs. See if you can record what's in it, right? Like a number might show up, number 6. Just record it. It'll make sense later. Or a letter might show up. Also, another ritual that you could do is take just a little bit of salt, a tablespoon of salt, put it in one of those little cloth bags, right? And carry it around with you. Put it in your car, in your glove compartment, um, put it in your pocket, put it in your purse, right? These are simple rituals. Um, if you're doing magic of any kind, particularly if you're doing protective magic, or if you have a court case, let's say, right, and you want to light a court candle, right, you can do a bigger ritual, consecrate the energy of what you're doing by putting salt in a circle. Place the item in the center, and then that is consecrating that energy, right? So you could do it for money, you could do it for court, you could do it for protection. The thing that's going to be most important is everything that you're doing, even if you're walking around trying to find out if there's energy in any parts of your house. Pray. Talk to God. It doesn't have to be a specific prayer, right? There are plenty of prayers that we all grew up with. The Book of Psalms, if you don't have it, purchase the Book of Psalms. They have a prayer. You want a prayer? It's in the Psalms. So purchase the Book of Psalms. It's a blue book. And in the back of the book, you got a problem, there's a psalm for it. And they list all the problems, and then they'll tell you what psalm to go to. All right? But don't leave out prayer. You're not doing anything by yourself. You weren't even born by yourself, people. Your mother was there. I hate that saying, you're born alone. You were not born alone. So don't stand alone in trying to figure all of this out. The one person that you have is your highest authority, your ascending master. Whoever that might be, pray, pray, pray. Pray earnestly. All right. Black salt. How do you make black salt? Now, I keep black salt on me at all times, but I also came from a store that used to make the black salt. So, 7 years of being with that store, you know, and trust and believe I got some magic, because those people were magical. And these are people at the Green Man store in North Hollywood. How do you make black salt? Actually, you need a motor and pedestal, right? However, I don't have a motor and pedestal, so the way it's made is with eggshells. If you go to a store, especially a Botanica or Santeria store, it's called cascarilla. Get some cascarilla. But it's all it is eggshells. You should dry out the eggshells, by the way. So you get the eggshells, you leave it exposed for a little bit, let it dry out. And then if you had a motor and pedestal, then you ground it into a powder. I don't have a motor and pedestal, but I love the hammer. I love the hammer and the concrete ground. And I'll get something out of it. All right. Yes, I will. Put it in a double plastic bag and pound away with the hammer. Um, Also, charcoal. Now, it's going to be really important to burn the charcoal. Burn the charcoal and make sure it's fully expelled from the fire because it turns to ash. And that's the ash that you're going to include with the eggshells. And then add salt. Again, this is one of those times I would add table salt. Because table salt is very, very fine. So I would add table salt. And black salt can also be used for protection spells. Me personally, I don't use black salt on spells, but I will definitely put it at my front door. Salt and rice. Get some rice, a handful, right? Or 2 to 3 handfuls, and some sea salt in a jar. Get a piece of paper and some coins. Coins are going to be important. And there's a lot of rituals that involves putting money in coins. And this is the first one that I'm offering up. So you need a jar with a lid, whereas the one with salt and vinegar, you do not use a lid, right? This needs a lid. So rice, sea salt, very important. But I'm sorry, I'm saying sea salt, but you might be Hawaiian and you might have some other kind of salt, right? No. Oh, the only other thing I forgot to mention is that there's something called blue salt. Something called blue salt, and Peruvians use blue salt. Oh, child, all these countries that use their own types of salt. That is so beautiful to me. So let's go back to salt and rice. Rice, I have here sea salt, but use the salt of your choice. We need a piece of paper, like the side of a sticky note, and some coins. And you're going to write your name on the paper, and on the other side, write what you want. So if it's, I like to think big. So if it's abundance, put abundance 3 times. If it's prosperity, put prosperity 3 times. Sometimes that word is too big, right? So if you want more Twitter followers, put that down 3 times. But say how many Twitter followers you want. So if you want 100,000 Twitter followers, put it down. It doesn't mean you're going to get 100,000 Twitter followers, but you could get 10,000 Twitter followers. You see what I mean? So write your name on one side, Tracey Brown, Tracey Brown, Tracey Brown. On the other side, put down IG followers, increase IG followers, increase. Fold the paper, put it in the jar, add the rice, add the sea salt, add the coins, close the lid, and shake it. Now, I said Twitter followers. It could be a court case. It could be a car. It could be a job, right? And you keep it, for me, I would keep it on my altar. And my altar now faces my front door. I don't know why, but it does. But I would just keep it on my altar. And before I leave my house, I would shake it up, right? To remind the energy, don't forget, this is what I need. And I put it back. You don't have to do this every day, but when you remember, shake it up. When you get what you want, you could start over again. All right? Are you guys good? Salt And black-eyed peas. Now, let me tell you something. If you don't know the magic of black-eyed peas, you need to learn the magic of black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas has eyes. So you're influencing the eyes for protection, protection of your money. Black-eyed peas is very similar to the protective eye or the third eye chakra. Very, very similar. Now, I do this every year. I keep it by my front door. I like to do it on the new year. I leave it out the whole year. I decorate usually a corner behind my door. So when people walk in, it's not the first thing that they see. So I usually keep like this, well, I used to, I don't do it here, like a stand where I would put my magical stuff. So some of my magical stuffs are a red elephant, right? And I forget the name of this stone I put out. Oh, I forget. Well, there's a stone. They're magnetic stones, and they come masculine and feminine energy. Lobestones. Lobestones. Um, and I would put that behind my door because lobestones attract abundance, right? And so I would put my bowl that it could be a glass bowl, it could be a porcelain bowl, but it can't be plastic, right? And I would put a whole bag of black-eyed peas. I would add a note, particularly if it's in the beginning of the year. Sometimes I redo it at the 6-month mark in June or July. And I would know the things that I would maybe want to accomplish in the new year, particularly for money, business, like for my candle business. It was one of the things that I made a note to. And I put the note down, put the black-eyed peas in the bowl, shake a little bit of salt, and again, in this case, it can be table salt, but because I'm very particular and this is being left out in my house, exposed, I like to use the thicker chunk of sea salt. Now, the trick to this is to one, leave it exposed, and any excess change that you have at the end of the day, put it in a bowl. I'm telling you, that bowl is going to be overflowing with excess change. Any excess change, put in there. Of course, things are a little different now because everybody uses their ATM cards, so it might not be overflowing this year. But still, any excess change, don't keep it in your car. Put it in the bowl. That is my favorite thing to do every single year, and sometimes at the half-year mark, at the end of June, beginning of July. We talked about bay leaves and salt, right? So boil some water with the bay leaves. Let it cool, people. Not too cold, but let it cool. Add the salt. There's no measuring in anything that I'm telling you, by the way. I'm not telling you a spoonful, maybe a handful of rice, but there's no measuring. Some people think big and think in abundance and want a lot of rice. I'm not going to stop you, right? So bay leaves and salt, boil the water and bay leaves together. Let it cool down. Add your salt. And this you can put in your bath water. Remember to pray. Everything you do, you're going to pray over the black-eyed peas. You're going to pray over the water with bay leaves and salt. Sometimes before you pray and ask for something, can you please ask for forgiveness? I promise you, you did something wrong throughout the year. I promise you. You know how I know this? Because none of us are perfect. And we are designed to make mistakes. We are designed to be in a bad mood. We are designed to be ugly some days. We forget so easily. So just pray for forgiveness first, right? And what does forgiveness look like to you? Forgive me, God, if I have hurt anybody at all. Boom, done. And then ask for the very things that you need. And that goes with anything that you're doing. Ask for forgiveness first. Identify that you could be a problem out there for someone, because you are. I'm not saying it's your fault, but you are. And because we never know who we hurt ever, the forgiveness of asking releases all that energy from you. It's a reset, start over. All right? Then ask for your wants, your wishes, and your desires. The Baileys, what you want, if you want healing, say it. If you have leaky pockets, meaning, and a lot of people have this, it's not leaky pockets, it's leaky bank accounts. A lot of people have this because they're not monitoring their bank accounts. Unfortunately, their debit cards are like running water. And so if you want to stop that, right, then heal that and pray over that, right? If you want financial gain, if there's a court issue, if there's a job that you want, this is perfect. So there's 2 resources to the Baileys and salt. 3. You could put it in your bath water, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, actually, you should bathe first, I believe, and then sit in the bay leaves and salt. Like that is the last thing that should be on your body. So it does take a little bit of work. Right? Bathe first, yeah, get the grind of the day off, and then soak, luxuriate in a nice hot bath water, some candlelights in your bathroom. You can even add, you want to add something extra, add Epsom salt to the bay leaves and salt. Oh, child. And be heavy on the Epsom salt, right? It's going to help with your bones anyway. So you could put it in your mop water. Now, it's a good idea when you buy a new mop, use the new mop with bay leaf water and salt. Boom. Boom. You're taking care of your house. All right? And so, mop water. Oh, and if you have to shower, which is what I have, I only have a shower now, which is the saddest thing ever, since I'm a bather. Just put it on a sponge and shower first, and put on a sponge and wipe your body down with this sponge of bay water and salt. All right, garlic and salt. You can boil the water, put the garlic in, let it cool down, add the salt. It does not have, when I say, I apologize. A lot of times I'm saying boil, but I do mean heat it up. I don't mean boil. Let it cool anyway. Again, pray over it. You can put it in your bath water, but also you can save a little bit of it, put a lid, and put it away in your kitchen cabinet. All right? You guys know about lemon salt. We've talked about this. I've decided that the best way to use the lemon salt method is to slice the lemon. Use a container that you're going to throw away. So paper or plastic. I'm not a fan of using plastic because I don't like the foam. I don't like the way it feels, the way it touches. It's really bad for the environment, those foam things. So just get paper bowls, slice the lemon. Again, table salt is perfect. Add table salt or sea salt or Himalayan salt, doesn't really matter. And place it underneath your bed. And whatever negativity you have inside your body, the salt will tell you. Because if you wake up the next day and it's watery, do it again. Wake up the next day and it's watery, do it again. The advice is to let it sit under your bed for 24 hours. But it's during your nighttime sleep is where the effect of the lemon and salt will take place and absorb that negative energy that you may be carrying around. But do it at least 3 times. Don't overdo it. After that, you could do it next month 3 times. The other thing with lemons is just a side note. It's a good idea to have lemons stacked up in your kitchen. We're going to talk about lemon and lime magic a whole nother day. All right? Now, this is absolutely my favorite bath to do. My favorite bath to do is rice and salt and cocoa butter. And I mean from the real cocoa butter, right? If you're in the States, most times you can find real cocoa butter in the beauty supply stores, all right? And I do want to tell you that cocoa butter is for peace and harmony and stability and freshness. It purifies the body and strips it of bad energies. It's used for healing rituals. It's for economic development. It's for your whole family, and it's for work. You want to do a powerful ritual? I mean powerful. Rice, salt, cocoa butter bath. So here we're going to boil the water or heat it to a simmer. Add the rice, add the salt, wait a few hours. So if you're going to do it in the morning, go to work, come back, it'll be perfect, right? Add the cocoa, so it's boil the water, add salt, add rice, add cocoa butter. If you are doing it for your whole family, make a big pot as if you're making soup. All right? Now, because I have this thing about cleaning anything, I would put the solution with the rice in an organza bag, and the water will go in my bathtub. But I wouldn't just put rice in my bathtub because I wouldn't want it to clog anything up. But if you use an organza bag, you can use cheesecloth, right? And the water. Now, it's very important that there is a safety issue with this because cocoa butter is so slippery. So be mindful that you could slip. So it's summertime, people. If you've got, what do you call those slippers for the beach? Then get in the tub with those type of slippers so you don't slip and fall. All right? Don't be so quick to do this ritual because I want you to always feel safe. And the thing about this particular ritual, you don't do it fast. You really understand the properties that you're using and why you're using it. And for some cultures, Cocoa butter is used specifically for specific reasons. It really, really has magical properties. And you guys don't know this, but I put cocoa butter on my face every single night because that's how magical the properties are. And that's how my skin is not wrinkled. There are other things happening to my skin, but it ain't wrinkles. All right. I think that is everything, everyone. I think I did my job. Let's see some of these comments. Learning a lot. Oh, thank you, Kalia. Oh, Lisa, you're so sweet. She's like, isn't she amazing? A great teacher. Somebody was saying something to me the other day. Oh, I must have said, I think it was today. I think it was today. And I said, I wish I was a teacher, but you guys know if I was a teacher, kids would be going back home cussing up a storm. So God knew I would just probably get fired as a teacher. But then the person said to me, you are a teacher. And I was like, oh, yeah, I keep forgetting. Oh, they even have salt lamps at Five Below or Big Lots, guys. Okay, thank you, Magic Mermaid. I made organic pink Himalayan salt baths for cleansing, removal of bad and negative energy, of a person/persons. That's the other thing. Yes, I didn't mention mixing herbs, SINW, but you're right, right? Uh, Basil is a herb that mixes well with any magic. Basil is for protection, if that's what you're identifying for, and it's for money, if that's what you're identifying for. You can't mix the two. But yes, mixing herbs. Organic pink Himalaya salt and soak in a bath for 5 to 7 days. See, you know the work. You know the work. Because the thing about all of this magic and investing in it, it's not a one-time deal. If it were, we would all be rich, right? It's about changing the molecular structure of your cells, changing your thought processes, right? And restructuring how you were raised. And then believe. If you believe, believe. That's you want to do something, you want a magic trick, believe in yourself. Believe that you can get anything that you want. I promise you. Believe that you could do anything. Promise you. That's the real trick. Is allowing your mental health to say, oh, I'm going to do that. And you will do it. I said to God one day, can I be on TV? He never really gave me an answer. I just find it hilarious that my thought of TV was a TV show. But everybody watches my YouTube on their TV. So if you give God enough time, He's going to answer your prayers. Yes, it's okay to mix basil with water and Himalayan. Absolutely. Absolutely. Basil? Absolutely. Just remember that if you're taking a bath or putting in your mop water, oh, child, you're going to think you have bugs all over the place. So I put everything in an organza bag. So get those little 4x6 organza bags, get 100 of them, put them in your closet. Whenever you're ready to do some magic that requires little things to get out of control, put the herbs in the organza bag. It contains everything. The knitting is so fine, but it's water. You know, it's good when you have to boil something like basil. So just get an organza bag. This was enlightening. Thank you, Coca. Also, since Debbie said she loves lodestones, I don't know if you guys would know what lodestones in, but we'll talk about it another day. Sin W knows. When I go to the beach, oh, child, I gotta tell you a beach story. When I go to the beach to do spiritual work, I always bring a jumbo mason jar and fill it with ocean water. That is so cool. And do magic with the ocean water. I also keep ocean water on my altar. Yes, ocean water, rainwater, moon water, right? Take it. One of my former group mates used to take her water that she drinks with, that she gets delivered, and she puts them outside when it's full moon energy or new moon energy, depending upon the day and the sign. But I took my grandson to, I don't know how old he was. He must have been, oh my God, I think he was 4 or 5. He's 8 now, so let's say he was 5, right? And too intelligent for his age, too intelligent. So I go to my son at the time and his fiance, and I go, hey, so I want to go to the beach. Can I take Ezra? And they're like, oh, sure, sure, sure. I was like, hey, Ezra, guess what we're going to do? And he goes, what, Tori? I'm like, we're going to do a ritual at the beach, right? But it had to be at a specific time. So the moon was turning like at, it was like full moon energy, and it wasn't hitting until like 8:10, right? Or something like that. So we went to the beach, but we couldn't do the magic until the moon had turned, right? And so I don't even know what magic we did. I know we had to put something in the sea, but in California, Santa Monica Beach, you better not put anything in the water. So I had to act like we were going to see Carrie and Ezra. And I forgot that the sea reacts to the full moon. So I'm going into the sea, holding Ezra with this piece of paper so nobody sees it. And the moon, the time turns, it's a full moon, and it tried to kill us. The waves tried to kill us. We wound up underwater. I got my baby. I'm pulling him out the water to make sure he doesn't drown. If I drowned, it was fine, but he can't drown. And we struggle back away from the water. I'm like, are you okay? I'm like, okay, you're okay, right? And so we get up out of there, and I know my Ezra, he's a tattletale. He's a tattletale. So I was like, Ezra, don't tell your daddy. And he goes, okay, Dory. He's shivering now because it's late and it's cold. And it's like, we didn't have enough clothes. I put the towel around him as we were going back to the train. This wasn't even in a car. Because to take a car to Santa Monica, you won't. It's a nightmare. You can't find parking. So we took the train, and we wound up at McDonald's. You're not allowed to eat on the train. I'm feeding my son. He's nibbling on chicken McNuggets. Cops come in. I kind of look at them like, don't try it, guys. Like, if you knew the ritual I just did, you would leave me alone. But they just smiled, and I was like, oh, smile too. And I'm telling you, for years after that child, the one that I loved so much, he threatened me for years in front of his dad and his soon-to-be stepmom. And he'd be like, Dory, remember when we almost drowned? I'm like, what are you, the bad seed? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get me into trouble? Baby, don't do it. Oh my God, I love Ezra. He is hilarious. All right, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you guys for tuning in. And let me know down below in this video what rituals you all have used. Let me know. I'm so fascinated and curious to see what you all wind up doing. Let me know if you did all of it, because this is a lot of simple stuff. And not only are you going to protect your home, you're going to bring money in. It's going to be amazing. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to get going. Hi, Mrs. Matthews. Hi. Let me just see something here. Okay. Hi, oh love. Thank you for the hearts. And thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me the time and space. Don't forget, there's going to be a video for everything that we talked about. Quick little 5-minute videos or less. All right? So, if you want a reading with me, just go to TraceyBrownlive.com. The rates are there. And if you go to TraceyBrown.com, visit the shop where the candles are sold. I now sell, ironically, right? Talking about salt magic. I now sell, I'm calling them Roe versus Wade candle, or You Can't Break My Soul candles. I don't know if Beyonce would like that, but I don't really care. I love you, Beyonce, and thank you for that song. They are salt and garlic candles to help influence overturning Roe versus Wade, to protect the rights of women. That's why I made that candle. I am no joke. I am very, very powerful. And just if you can participate in that way, like if you can't protest, light a candle. All right, guys. I had one more thing to tell you. If you want a reading with me, the text number is 213-458-7408. I have one more thing to say. Andrew, TraceyBrownlive.com, text number. Watch it when I get off the phone. I'm really, oh my goodness, okay, forget this. You can't break my soul. What did I say? I'm telling you, so bad at music. You can't break my soul. Thank you. Have a lovely holiday, everyone. If you are celebrating, but we're in protest, so you should not be buying anything. If you're going to buy something, buy it on the 1st or the 2nd. No last minute shopping. We really have to show the powers that be that we are not putting up with their shit anymore. They gave us $100 gas weekly, and you still going to celebrate America? No, shut it down. So they got to do better by us. And there's no reason why these gas prices are so high. So protest the gas prices, protest Roe versus Wade, protest Black Lives Matter. Protest. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And have a good evening and enjoy your holiday weekend. Take it easy. Bye. Oh, wait, that was it. Please like, subscribe, and share. The like button lets me know that you like the content, but subscribe and then press the bell and all, because you're going to be missing out on these videos, and I don't want anyone missing out anymore. That would be cool. Maybe next year we could do that, Magic Mermaid. But I don't want to turn the 4th into something else. I think the 4th is a 4th, right? So I don't want to turn it into something else. I would rather sit it out until they do right by us. And then once we win, we could turn it into Women's Freedom Day. Right? All right, guys. Take it easy. Love you all. Subscribe. like, don't be afraid to share, especially the videos that I'm going to put out. The little 5-minute videos, like and share and all that good stuff. Take it easy. I love you. Love you all. Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.